Hello there and welcome back to Building with the Boys. It's time for our weekly catch-up. I'll start with, I'm sorry it's been relatively light on content this week on the channel. The reason for that is the weather. It's just been unbearable. It's been unbearably hot, and then when I'm hot, I'm going to make stupid mistakes and things like the models. I'm not enjoying it. I need to be comfortable, and it just hasn't been. It's been grotesque in here. It's been horrendous. So yeah, after a hot, sweaty, nasty working day, the last thing I want to do is turn something I kind of love into something that is something I hate. And I think that's what would have happened if I'd have been sat trying to build models in 40-degree heat. I would have lost my mind. I started pack 8 of the Rootmaster Monday, I think it was. I got like 2 parts in. I'm like, nah, I can't do this, because the sweat was just running off me, and I thought, no, this is going to be miserable. So it means I'm going to rush. So I apologise for that. That is all changed now, though. The weather is a lot more ambient than it was, and even though it's very hot, I think after going through the really hot weather, very hot just seems quite pleasant now. So that is all changed. And the other reason why that's changed is it's actually my birthday this weekend. So I have booked a couple of days off work. I've got the weekend as well, so I've got like 4 days straight just to myself. It's very indulgent, but I don't care. It's my birthday. So I'm spending 4 days solid just building models. Now, that's weird to some people, but if you're watching this, chances are you're one of us. You get it. The idea of just being able to lock myself away for 4 days, no meetings to go to, no phone calls to answer, no chores to do, is bliss, man. It's like swimming in chocolate, So that's what I'm going to do. No, I have got stuff to do. So I've got pack 8 of Rootmaster. That's here. That will be done. I've got Iron Man. So I've got Iron Man stages 72 to 75. Yeah, 72 to 75 have just turned up, I think. I might be wrong. 73 to 76? 73 to 76, that's what's here. I think. I don't know. Whatever the next Iron Man, that's what I've got. There's not loads to do in that one, but I mean, again, it's that's kind of typical of Iron Man, but it's all relevant. We're building the body, and I've got the battery compartment for the premium stand. The premium stand as well. I don't know if you've seen this thing. If you've not seen the Iron Man videos, the premium stand. Let me grab this up for you. It's just humongous. I mean, this isn't finished yet, but this thing is insanely big. I mean, it's like a shield at this point. But we're doing the electrics, so the battery box will be sitting in here, and then we'll have LEDs underneath all of these, so all these panels will light up. There's still more to come off this thing. It's massive, but I like it, man. I really like it. So that's a good one. So we've got that one to do. We've also got Rootmaster. We've got pack 8 of Rootmaster, and that's all the electrics of Rootmaster. Now, I've already started it, like I said. So the first 2 I went through was doing the wiring. I'm very happy to say all of my electrics work, literally all of it. So I've now got lights, sound, the whole shebang, and I'm very pleased with where that was. But I had to stop because I love Rootmaster, and it just wasn't comfortable building it. But I'm looking forward to finishing that one off. We're doing a lot of work on the upper deck. We're building the destination board, so that'll be good. So that one's going to be done as well. I have bought a Robot Time Real-Life Rokr model, and it's one of the, I mean, you can see the wooden models on my shelf over here. These, it's not like one of those. It's something different that they've done. So Real-Life have been moved. Rokr Robot Time, it's the same company, have been moving into different areas of modeling at the moment. And I like where they're going. Sometimes when companies do this and they start stretching out into things that ain't really their forte, they drop the ball. Real-Life haven't. They've nailed it. So they've done. I won't tell you what it is. I'm gonna leave that one for a surprise. But it's a nice one. But it's a complicated one. But it's slightly different to the other things they've done. Now, the one thing they have done, they've literally just announced this week, is a new offshoot of their brand called Mechanical Age, where everything they've done up to this point has been wooden. I mean, they've touched on plastic elements and metal elements before, but everything they've done up to this point was wooden. They've just released a video of an item they've got coming called a Sentry Beetle, which is like it's like a pure mechanical kit. And it doesn't appear to be wood. It appears to be kind of metal and plastic parts, and It makes a like a robotic beetle, but a really cool one. Almost kind of like a steampunky thing, or like an apocalyptic thing, but it looks like it blows flames. I don't think it does. I think that's an effect, but it looks like it's got an afterburner. It looks very impressive. I've no idea how much it's going to cost, but it looks really nice. They've also got a new one as well. This is I'll show you a picture of the new one. Rolife have got a chair-a-plane, they're kind of commonly known as, one of their rides coming out. And again, they've done something different with this one. So as a company, they're growing and they're moving on the complexity of their models. But take a look. Here's a picture of the chair-a-plane. So what that makes that one particularly unique is that it operates differently to every other one they've put out at this point. So as it stands at the moment, I've got the airplane control tower just here. I've got the carousel just here. And I've got, sorry, that's the Ferris wheel. I've got the carousel as well. So I've got the carousel, the airplane control tower, and the Ferris wheel of the rides they do. Now, all of those work the same way. You wind it up, and off it goes. And it doesn't stop until the winder runs down. The chairplane's different. So the chairplane has got an on and off switch. You turn it on, it goes. You turn it off, it stops. And it's touch to move. So they're advancing their kind of their mechanics. So it's still built in the same traditional way. It's still wooden, but it's got 2 levels of rotation. So the actual center pole will be going clockwise, whereas the outer part will be going anti-clockwise. So it makes quite a nice effect. But it's a gorgeous model, and I'm looking forward to doing that one. It is one we will be getting. If you've not built one of these, but you are a traditional part worker, these are great, honestly. They are, I mean, typically they're afternoon builds. I mean, you can stretch them out if you wanted to, but typically these things take anything from as little as 1 hour up to 10 hours. And you can kind of burn through them in a day. If you want to, but you can make them last. But they're a really nice thing. So again, if you are a part work builder and you're looking for something to sort of bridge the gap, it's not just Rokr that do them. There's also a company called U-Gears that makes some very nice wooden mechanical models. There's a company called Wood Trick. Wood Trick are on the more expensive side, but some of the Wood Trick stuff is seriously impressive. But they are fun. They're a lot of fun to do. They really are. Regards to other models that we've got, Titanic has shipped. That shipped yesterday, so I'm expecting that in about 10 days. It might be here next weekend, I don't know. And that will be issues 21 to 24. So we're going to carry on building the ship's hull. We're going to be adding more LEDs. We've got windows to do. I don't know what comes in 23 and 24. I know in 21 we get another piece of the hull. I know in 22 we get windows and some other detailing, but I don't know. Beyond that, I don't know. I would imagine it's the other part of the hull, and beyond that, I don't know. But I love the Titanic. It's looking really nice, so I'm looking forward to doing that one. Disney Doll's House is due to dispatch on the 27th, so that's Monday. So that will be here the following Wednesday, typically, or Thursday. It takes about 10 days. So that's what's coming up there. Pack 9 of the Route Master is due to dispatch not until August, so that'll be a way off, but Pack 8 isn't done yet. R2-D2 is rumbling on. We've still got a pack of R2-D2 to do we haven't done yet, so that will be coming up. We also have more of the Hachette Marvel Legendary series, the books, to review with Oscar. With regards to new models, there is something new-ish coming up from D'Agostini are doing the Valentino Rossi bike. It's really nice. Really, really nice. Take a look at this. So that's the Rossi bike. Now, the reason why it says newish is because you've been able to get this for a while. You could buy this as a full kit. I don't think it's ever been available direct to UK. You could certainly get it. I know Ian Campbell from Park Upgrades built one, and he's got the whole build video, a good build video as well, about problems you might incur with it and some of the kind of. It's a proper review. It's a good video. If you get a chance to see Ian Campbell's channel with his. I'll post a link to it. I'll put a link in the description. He gives a very, very good review, a very good, honest review about kind of the pros and cons of the bike. But he built the thing as an entire kit, so he got like a pallet stuff turn up to build this thing, because it is a big bike. I mean, this thing as well. It's hard sometimes to scale something because of the cars we typically build. You imagine the bike's going to be the same scale. It isn't. The bike is a quarter scale, so it's bloody big for a bike. I'm not going to do it, and the reason why is because I've wanted to do a bike for a while, but for me personally, it's going to look weird in my kind of collection, because my scales typically come in around about 1/6 to 1/8. Now, that's different with the Titanic, but that's a boat. My logic's weird here. But for road vehicles, to have this giant motorcycle the same size as, a vehicle, a car, is a bit weird. So it's not for me, and I don't have enough affection for super bikes. They did do one, Model Works did one a long time ago, and I never got it, and I kick myself to this day that I never got it, because if it was re-released in a heartbeat. They did the bike from Easy Rider, and it was gorgeous. It was really nice, and it even came with the kind of the Peter Fonda Captain America helmet, and it was so nice, just this big chopper. And I'm like, man, I kind of want that bike. It was just gorgeous. But I never built it, I never bought it, and it was one of those ones where I even had it in the basket, it was, I'm not getting that. And it became, everything else just kept getting in the way. And I'm thinking, no, but then I'll get that first, and then I'll get the Easy Rider after. And then by the time I went to get the Easy Rider was gone. And I was like gutted, but it is what it is. But I mean, again, you can see they're out there in the wild. If you look for the Easy Rider part where you can see it, and it's a beautiful thing. It really was. And that's a bike I would have built in a heartbeat. I really would have. There is also another bike. There's a bike currently being built in France, which is it's an Indian, and it's a gorgeous thing, but it's very linked to I got to say the name right, Johnny Halliday. Now that name might not ring a bell with you, but he was the French Elvis. He was huge. So I mean, there was a big state funeral for him when he died fairly recently, and he was massive. I mean, in France, he was a huge icon of France, and part of his kind of aura, if you will, was his bike. He had a very gorgeous Indian. And they've released a kit of it, so they're currently building that in France at the moment. And again, it is a lovely bike. So when it comes to motorcycles, if you glance around my room, you might see something from my past in here. I don't know, maybe just up there, which gives you an idea of kind of my link to motorcycles, if you will. I love them, I do, but I've never been one for super bikes. They're not my thing. Cruisers, bobbers, choppers, lowriders, they're kind of my thing. I love those. So kits that do those, yeah. So it depends what else comes out. I do want to build a bike. At some point I want to build a bike. So that was the Easy Rider there. That's the one I kind of wish I built, never got round to doing. If that ever comes back round, I'm all over it, because I just think that thing's gorgeous. But I mean, it's big. That thing was like, this big. It was massive. But I believe that one is going to be released as a weekly. I think that's going to be in stores, not just the sub model. But they're currently gathering interest for it. You could buy it as a complete kit, but now I believe it's been released as a sub model. That's the Rossi Bike. So be on the lookout for that if you're after one. I'm gonna have to discuss Eaglemoss. I'm looking forward to the day where we don't have to discuss them anymore. We just know what's happening. But nothing. They're kind of like Voldemort at this point. I'm sorry for using that name out loud, everyone. We don't talk about them, but we need to talk about them. So nothing. I mean, we're a week and a half since the kind of initial storm, and nothing but bizarrely the first kind of official noise from them appeared yesterday on LinkedIn, of all places. So bizarrely, Eaglemoss put a post on LinkedIn stating, as the news filters out, just want to say thank you for all the hard work our colleagues did. And then they've posted a bunch of their 5-star reviews. How narcissistic is that? You know, now I'm a very positive person, but my God, that's kind of like, read the room, man. Read the room. Because it's like, here are 4 of our 5-star reviews. I'm like, you ain't gonna be getting many more of them. So it's yeah, I found that a very bizarre thing to do. I don't know if it's still up. I would imagine maybe someone would have said, might want to take that down. But yeah, that's what they did. So the only official kind of word or notice, and it's not even that. And the only sound we've heard from them in over a week is this very bizarre, self-congratulatory LinkedIn post. Weird. I hate LinkedIn, by the way. LinkedIn is something I can't stand. I think it's just the worst. I know it's presented as professional Facebook, but if you're not familiar with LinkedIn and you want to go searching for this, go LinkedIn, just type in Eaglemoss, you'll find it. But don't join LinkedIn, man. I mean, it's important for networking and things like that. It is important. It's important in my industry. But take everything you read on LinkedIn with a pinch of salt. Trust me. I won't go into it. But I see a lot of people I know on LinkedIn. I'm like, that ain't you. I know you and that ain't you. So yeah, just it's like it's extreme Facebook, because you can't be mean or horrible on LinkedIn, because it would destroy your career, literally. So it's this very weird self-promotion tool, but it is important to our industry. Strange. But that's all we've heard from them. So we've heard nothing else. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's kind of a good thing, because it means that it ain't over yet. I mean, that's, the good thing is, if it had been beyond kind of, there's nothing we can do here, you probably would have heard something by now. You probably would have heard something. So it would suggest at the moment they're romancing the other part where it companies about what they can and can't offload. They're liaising with the licensees, the licensors, sorry, about what they can and can't do. I would imagine there is no complete clauses in a lot of those license contracts. I mean, I don't know. No one's going to have the same one. I've mentioned before that I've worked with DC, and I know what their contract was like, and their fail-safes had fail-safes, and the fail-safe's fail-safe had a fail-safe. There was no dancing away from the table. They weren't like that. So I would imagine other companies that they're signed up with, because I mean, they've got a lot of licenses. So they've got licenses with Universal, with Marvel, but then ultimately means you've got all in Disney. They've got them with what was originally Fox, BBC, WWE. They've got contracts with a lot of very big media players. Now, the one thing that has done the rumblings as well is people have been seeing an Eaglemoss DeLorean being sold by D'Agostini, I believe. And I think it's in Peru. It's in Peru or Brazil, I think. That's quite common. That's not an unusual thing. It just means Eaglemoss wouldn't have had a business there. So there is no territory for them. So the way it works is Eaglemoss don't make these models. Pretty much none of the companies you buy these models from make these models. That's very evident with Agora. Agora are a lot of the Hachette models end up at Agora. So the Hachette models aren't made by Hachette. Hachette are merely licensing them in the same way that you pay for the license to have Doctor Who figures or Walking Dead figures. Same thing. They go to a company that has created the model, will approach Hachette or a publisher. So this is what we've got. This is what we can do. Do you want it? They then license the models. They'll get a level of exclusivity. So they'll have exclusive, maybe global exclusivity, where it's theirs. Maybe theirs for a set period of time. Be that 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is. Hachette appear to take a model for one run. As far as I can see, that's it. So it appears that Hachette will take a part work for 3 years. So it would be like 2.5 years to build it, another 6 months for him that was kind of late to the party, and then it's gone. So a lot of the Hachette builds, once it's done, it's done. You can't get it again. Whereas Eaglemoss just kept selling the same models. So the DeLorean never went away. It was just on there kind of indefinitely. And then the Ecto joined it, and then they were kind of added into the menagerie of models they had. Hachette don't do that. Typically, once it's gone, it's gone. So if you can see the Rootmaster was Hachette, you could buy all the individual issues. Then once it was gone, it was gone. They fire sell what's there, and like, not ours anymore. And then Agora have took up the license. Terminator was the same. So Terminator, you could get all the Terminator stuff on Hachette. They just fire sold the lot in the last couple of months, and then it went off. It went to Agora. Same thing. So it's not Eaglemoss that make this model. So that's kind of the big sort of miscommunication, that Eaglemoss own a factory that's making this model. They don't. They do not. They have licenses from someone else, which again is why, realistically, you will be able to finish your models. How? I don't know. Now, the other one was, if another subscription company takes us up, they're not going to let you just jump on halfway through. We don't know that, because this is a unique situation that we've not seen before. Now, I know this is getting likened to Rootmaster, where people say, well, I never got to finish my Rootmaster. But were you sub to it? You know? Or were you just buying parts from a newsagent, it ran out, and then you're like, right, I'll go on and some of the bits I didn't buy the first time round, or buy some of the bits I couldn't get from eBay. Different thing. Different set of circumstances. Because if you'd have sub through Hachette, you'd have finished your model through Hachette. That's the reality. So this is a different set of circumstances. Now, these models, not the DeLorean, but the Ecto, the Eleanor, the Wooden Titanic, and the Enterprise D, were only available for a subscription model. So you had no other channel to buy these parts. So it might be, when somebody takes up the mantle, that part of the deal, it is possible, is that they get the customer list, the sub list, because it is in a company's interest, be that Fan Home or whoever it is, to finish the models for the people that began it, to gain yourself some customers. Because if you're building one of these, chances are you're going to build something else. It's like an addiction, you know. We don't just build one; we build loads. That would make sense to me financially. That would make sense if I was in a position to make that decision. And believe it or not, again, I don't go into what I do for a living, but I am kind of in that position to make those decisions. It's a decision I'd make, because not only would I be getting a new model for my site, I'd also be getting potentially a massive new customer base. So it's something I would definitely look at. The other reason why is, why would you buy an Ecto 1 and then tell people, if you want to finish yours, you got to buy it from the beginning? Because you're not going to, are you? You're not going to. Faith in any of those Eaglemoss models is going to be at an all-time low. However, if social media start filling up with, oh my God, aren't Fan Home wonderful? They helped me finish this Ecto 1, and look at my shiny Ecto 1. Wouldn't you like one of these shiny Ecto 1s? Why don't you go subscribe to Fan Home right now? It's good business. It's good business. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So we don't know. But as I said, it's not them that make the models, right? So the company that makes the models has all the tooling to make the models, has all the parts and designs to make the models, and can still make the models. So let's just wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see what happens. I can't be one of the doom mongers. There's a lot of doom mongers on the socials at the moment. No, that's it. You'll never get anything again. Who are these people? Seriously, right? Like, I'm the guy who, if we're in a plane crash and we survived it and we're up in the mountains together, I'm the guy that's going to go, right, okay, it's a crap situation that we've got, but you know what? We're all still alive, aren't we? So why don't we look at staying alive as long as we can until rescue gets here, or we need to start finding a way to get off this mountain. I'm not the guy that would sit there and go, well, no, that's it then. We're all dead, right? We survived the crash, but that's it. Let's just sit here and die then, innit? Who are those people? These are the people you do not need in a situation. And it makes me, I find it bizarre. How do you function in life? Because I work a job where stuff like this comes up daily. Where it's like, right, okay, here's a new emergency. And you deal with it. You know, that's the way it is. This is the situation that you've got. And it's a good life lesson. I'm not trying to preach, but I'm just saying the reality is life is going to throw curveballs at you regular. Where it's like, right, okay, this is something you don't want, this is something you don't need, but this is the situation you've got and you've got to deal with it. Bizarrely, whilst making this video, I got a phone call that threw me one of those curveballs where I'm like, okay, that's possibly one of the worst things that could happen right now, but it's happened. and I'll have to deal with it. That's the way it is. There's no point dwelling on this stuff. There really isn't. You got to have a sunny outlook, and if the worst happens, okay, well then you deal with it. But that's the advice I can give you. So when it comes to your models, it ain't over yet. Stop listening to the people that say that it is, because it isn't. It might be over through Eaglemoss. It might be over through the normal channels, but Ian Campbell and Parkwork Upgrades, Mr. Fusion, Chloe at Parkwork Model Wads are doing amazing work to help us finish these models, along with others as well. There are other people that put in free 3D print files out there. They're also, a lot of these places are going to offer this thing made complete, painted as well, so it turns up done. So don't panic. We'll figure this out, you know? Let's be positive. This is the situation we want, situation we got. We're going to deal with that situation. That's all we can do. Anyway, that's enough of my ramblings. I have got 4 gorgeous days all to myself for my birthday to build models, and I'm going to start right now. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.